As the legitimate daughter of a noble family, she is treated like a servant by her elder sister. Her father not only fails to stop it, but allows his second daughter to continue her inheritance. And all of this is because she did not inherit the family's abilities to extract her last value. Her father arranged for marriage to a man, a family with abilities had never seen before. It's rumored that the eldest son of his family has a strange personality and a terrifying appearance. Every previous fiancé met a very tragic fate. Either they were driven away or killed. But hearing the girl thought nothing of it. For her, as long as she can escape this hole, no matter how difficult life is, it couldn't be worse. Unbeknownst to her, this their mindset would officially pave the way for her happy life. That day, she carried her luggage alone and trembled towards her fiance's house, contrary to her imagination. This famous family of abilities has a presidential courtyard. Upon meeting Zhou, Meiji politely greeted him, but he took a long time to respond. Thus, Meiji had to continue kneeling, but thankfully, she was already used to being ignored after kneeling for an unknown period. Zhou has spoken. How long do you plan to stay like this? Very sorry.
I didn't ask you to apologize.
Lift your hat. The moment their eyes meet, Meiji discovers a handsome man before. He seems to have a gentle heart. However, here, you must obey absolutely. If I tell you to go, you must go. If I command you to die, you must die. Alright, he isn't as ugly as the rumors say. But his temperament is indeed quite bad. The next morning, Meiji habitually gets up early to cook. But this shocked the housekeeper, because she had never seen the future mistress cook personally. And just as Jumto was about to enjoy breakfast, he suddenly noticed a surveillance servant outside. After pondering for a moment, he suspected it was the new fiancé playing tricks. Thus, seeing Meiji bring up the breakfast she made, he couldn't help but feel disgusted, and will eat something with who knows what inside. With that, he left without looking back, leaving Meiji silently looking down. Upon seeing this, the housekeeper who had grown up with him chased after and blamed him for laying her down, because he monitored the food preparation the entire time. There can't be anything else inside. Besides, he can feel that this girl is different from everyone else. Hearing this, Jilton felt for the first time that he might be wrong. At the same time, the team discovered a strange bug. They accidentally touched it during the study, resulting in a overload of demonic energy. It instantly spread throughout the room. One team member quickly used fire elements to clean it up, but that was clearly inappropriate indoors. Just as everyone hesitated on how to deal with it, Jilton rushed out, using water abilities to seal it again. The investigation results came out too. The stuff was for residual them and for subdues. If an ordinary person were possessed, they would easily such as manipulated. But such things are rarely seen, maybe 1 in 10 years. Now, they are circulating in large quantities at the market. Clearly, somebody is working behind the scenes. Now the enemy is in the dark world regarding the might. Powerless Jilton can believe. Or is the days to increase the jolt that night as he just got home. So much it was the quotas. Through observation, it is supposed to be. Her fingers were calloused. Not at all like a wealthy girl should be, not the demeanor expected of a young lady. He immediately planned to take a bath and relax. Upon hearing this, Meiji couldn't help but blame herself, saying she didn't prepare well and didn't heat the water. The Junto didn't blame her, because their family's water source could only be heated by someone with fire abilities from the same clan. Seeing the sea, Meiji's eyes widened. She kept saying it was a present. This made the indifferent Jilton a bit shy, but she quickly apologized again. After hearing this, Jilton was a bit confused, so he couldn't resist asking, "Why do you apologize for everything?" Excessive apologies only cheapened him. He then admitted he had overreacted this morning. If possible, I hope she will make breakfast again tomorrow. After saying this, he got up and left. That night, Meiji was again awakened by nightmares. He had no idea how many times this had happened since she became aware she hadn't had a good night's sleep. But since she was awake, she decided to cook for the young master again. This time, Jilton did not refuse. After tasting it, he praised it repeatedly. Upon hearing this, Meiji couldn't help but tear up. This left the usually indifferent Jilton somewhat at a loss. Quickly asked if she had said something wrong. But Meiji said it was touching. This was what it was something she had never heard before. Jilton was quite puzzled. Meiji's family, though not as prominent as his, also possessed strong wind abilities. Why did she seem to be struggling so much? Before leaving, he instructed the butler to help keep an eye on the girl, to see what she did all day. He would then inquire about Meiji's family. He soon uncovered the truth. The girl did not inherit her parents' abilities. She was a bit in our family. She was often bullied by her stepmother and half-sister. However, a few things were very strange. Initially, his father had spent a fortune on the marriage alliance. Yet they couldn't find any information about Meiji's mother's family, but there wasn't time to think much more. His subordinates then reported it in, saying that more and more bugs were appearing lately. Even though the team had intensified their patrol efforts, they still couldn't find the source. After returning home, the butler honestly reported that the girl had spent the whole day mending her old clothes. Recalling her background, Jilton couldn't help but feel some sympathy. He insisted on taking her out to shop tomorrow. "You haven't been out since you came here, have you?" However, what he didn't expect was, Mihoshi absolutely refused. It turns out she's afraid of looking uneducated. If it's really causing trouble, just say so. You don't want to, then forget it. No, I absolutely don't mean that. Then it's settled. The next day, the butler was to do Mihoshi's makeup, but he found her hand wound was healing fast. Mihoshi hurriedly explained, "This might be because the unnecessary hour. Take a bubble herbal bath." Hearing this explanation, the butler chuckled. Turns out that Hasato has hated herbal baths since childhood. Finally, under the butler's makeup, Cinderella fully blossomed into her true self. Even Hasato used to brand scenes, felt shy unconsciously. As soon as they met at the market, Hasato took her to the tailor's shop. Seeing it was a girl, the shop owner was ecstatic. This is Hasato's first time bringing a girl shopping. Clearly, they have an extraordinary relationship. After buying the clothes, Hisata took her to have dessert. To his surprise, before she had never eaten since childhood, he couldn't help but sigh. How much misery has his fiancée really endured? As she chewed slowly, caught off guard by the flavor, watching her happy expression, Jotun couldn't help but smile. To stand up for her, he bravely entered his fiancée's family. And to fight at the face-to-face, claimed he would procure a large dowry, that they must publicly apologize to Mishi, otherwise their ties would be severed. Then, without waiting for their consent, he left assertively. At this moment, he ran into Mishi's bullied sister. Gazing at his handsome face, she felt alive for a sight. Upon realizing he was her sister's fiancé, anger ignited dubious thoughts in her mind. That night, Jotun returned home, only to find Mishi had a nightmare. She kept mentioning names. After investigating, he found out it was her brother, who had been kicked out as a child for helping her. As Mishi had always felt guilty, thinking it was all her fault. So Jotun had his men bring her over, to let them meet. See all that Jotun did for her. Mishi was incredibly touched. She could no longer keep it hidden, so she knelt outside the door and revealed the truth. I have no special abilities. I inherited the bloodline but have no powers. I've only finished elementary school. In my family, I've always been treated like a servant. I'm unrefined. I can't do what any noble lady can do.
I really don't deserve you.
If you want me to die, I will. If you want me to leave, I will. Seeing the girl so humble, Jotun felt a bit heartbroken, so he let her raise her head and speak her mind. I hope it's me you want to stay, not someone else. Thus, Maishi's emotional knot was completely open. In the days that followed, she longed for future happiness, but most surprisingly, her sister was about to create trouble. That day, Maishi just received a love token from Jotun. When her sister demanded she break off the engagement, in the past, Maishi would have shamefully agreed, but now she doesn't want to give up. No matter how much she's bullied, she will relent. Meanwhile, upon discovering his fiancée's disappearance, Jotun rushed to the Mai family. Found that refusing to see him, he directly used his powers to break in. Maishi's father still tried to stop him, but he couldn't land a single hit. He was landed to the ground and beaten. Then came the clan elder. He intended to show off and obstruct. Unexpectedly, his powers were no match. After a few rounds, he fell behind. But Jotun is left beyond fighting because he knows his fiancée is being tortured. Inside the cabin, sister still wants Mishi to give up, continuously pressing her hand underwater. Despite Mishi being dazed, she still refuses to submit because that's the sunlight she's not seen for a long time. In a life and death moment, Jotun finally arrived. He grabbed Mishi and turned to leave. Sister wasn't happy. She believed her beauty and abilities surpassed her sister's. Why can't she earn Joe's affection? Shut up! I don't care about looks or talent.
Even if the sky falls,
I still won't choose you. After this incident, everyone thought it was the end. But they didn't notice the cherry blossom tree in the yard revealed a strange power due to fire. After Meishi woke up, Jotun thought leading the family would end her nightmares, but it surprisingly became worse. In the end, daytime began to trap her in nightmares. In a state of confusion, a mysterious person came, planning to be from the Meishi's family, the Boyd family, saying her symptoms are not a mental issue, but rather a curse from her bloodline. Her mother sealed the power in the cherry blossom tree. The fire accidentally unsealed it early, which led to the worsening of the situation. So to heal her, she must be brought to the family. Family elders led to bring her along. Under scrutiny, the eldest stated that her power is extremely rare. The entire family is not as strong as she is, so for treatment, she has to stay here to recuperate. Naturally, she's unwilling to separate. Forced by circumstances, Jotun had no choice but to give the order. You should leave my house. You must obey my command. However, when Jotun returned to the base, he saw a blaze rising into the sky. It turned out the alien worms invaded the team's bodies. They were patient and destroyed everything recklessly. The team members hadn't dared to use lethal force, so they gradually retreated. Looking at the crowd, he realized this was deliberate steam. If left unchecked, it would affect nearby civilians. He managed a magic sealed barrier would be needed, but the barrier would strip everyone of their magic power, and he would be ambushed and assassinated as well. But he knew, in this situation, there were no other options available. On the other side, Nishi overheard the family conversation. It was that all this is a conspiracy set up by our whole family. The goal is to eliminate Kyuto. If her bloodline merges with Kyuto, the world will worship him. At that time, the clan will no longer be able to hide. Knowing this, Meishi unleashed unprecedented power in an instant. She rushed to save her beloved. She didn't want to think too much, because Kyoto is her everything. She ran wildly. Finally, she arrived at the scene just in time. Using all her strength, she invaded everyone's spiritual world and controlled Kyoto to cut down the alien world. With Meishi's help, everyone returned to normal. Then Kyoto realized it was his fiancée who helped, so he ran out and embraced her tightly.